Is anybody awake on the mainland? I just realized it's about midnight there. Shalom, shalom. Who we got with us? Sound off, guys. Let me know who's with us this late at night on the mainland. What are you guys doing up? Okay, so let's see. Can you see the ocean? Where's my chat? Hey guys, I wanted to stream before it got too late. It is already dark where you guys are, but guess what we realized since we've been here, and I think you will have this all planned out, is we get a perfect view of Virgo at night here. At 8 o'clock at night, it's about, if I was looking straight up, if I would look at the 10 o'clock position, that's about where Virgo is. So you actually see Virgo for the most part of the night. Obviously, we see the different constellations than we do in Utah. So we see Virgo, and we got to see it the past few nights. Pretty cool, because on the mainland it's only visible in the daylight, so you can't really see it, but you can see it perfect here. You can also see Jupiter right up in her. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. So that means Virgo is directly, I'm going to point it to the sky, directly right there, straight above the head, straight up. So I'd imagine this is a front row seat to anything that's going to happen in September, which I don't think that there's going to be. And just don't get mad at me for saying this. I don't think there's going to be a rapture on that day. Some are expecting it. I think it is a sign that lets us know of something that's coming in the future. Past that, sort of like the blood moons. The blood moons did never indicate that there was something going to happen on those days. It was just the way the Father said, pay attention to what's ahead. I'll sit down so it's not so shaky. Look at that. Wind blown hair. I apologize. We just got back to our room after going and looking at a lot of different places. We found a piece of land that's got a lot of fruit trees and a lot of grass and plenty of grazing area for cows. We also found another one that's kind of like a hideaway. It is completely canopied over with trees and palm trees and fruit trees and avocado and papaya and everything you could think of. And as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it. But and I was sold. I was like, we don't have to look at anything else. But of course, due diligence, and we have to be thorough in our research in the looking for a home part of this. We've had such a really good response so far to those that saw the videos that I share. I'll just share the ocean with you guys for a second. It is very beautiful. It is a breeze. It's about 70 degrees, maybe. The place we're staying in has no air conditioning, right? So what do? You leave the doors open. We have these little screens like this. Little screens. You just shut those and leave the other doors playing. We've got kids playing, guys, in the pool. And you leave the door open, and so the breeze blows through the house. So it's a constant ocean breeze They're nearby constant. I mean, all day, all night. And right now there's some rain moving up on the mountain. And so it's kind of moist too. Oh wow, now I can see the just saw that there was people commenting. Oh, it's okay. All right, so we've looked at some land, we looked at some houses, and we looked at the we drove by the college, just kind of looked at it. We didn't get to stop, but Darla's had us pretty much moving constantly, so I haven't got to enjoy too much of the snorkeling or anything like that. Well, when I do, I will make sure I get pretty good GoPro footage of that and upload it to YouTube. I did get a chance to fly the drone one day for about 3 minutes, but I'll try to fly it more tomorrow. We're going to go up to Waimea and look at some farmland up there, and I know I just happen to know there's several waterfalls that we pass by to go up that way, so I'll make sure we stop and take the time to get video of that and share it with you guys. What time is it now on the mainland? Somebody tell me. 9 in California. It is 6 o'clock here, so we are coming up on sundown at about 7 something, and hopefully I can get some footage of that and share with you. I really wish you guys could see Virgo. It's really interesting to see that right above your head. So if that is where the dragon is coming from, that'll be really interesting to see. 5 a.m. in Iceland. Shabbat Shalom and aloha from Punaluu, Hawaii. And get another shot of the ocean over there. It's a beautiful place. And I guess it is very relaxing here. We're eating a lot of fruit that we have never eaten before. I want to show you one. It's my favorite. It is very good. All right. Can anybody tell me what this is? Does anybody know what that is? That is a red dragon fruit. And it is so good. I want to grow some of these. These are awesome. We looked at some land today that had coffee trees on it as well. And a 400-year-old mango tree. Can you imagine? Look at that mango. From 400 years old. So that's a really old tree, and it's it was probably 6 foot thick. If I put my arms around it, I couldn't hug it all the way around. So I was pretty excited about that, seeing that mango. And that was the grandmother, he said. There were several others that were smaller that had been birthed by that one, but she was the one way up on the hill. And I mean, massive, 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 probably 10,000 mangoes on that tree. It's just massive. Where we are is the Kau district, which is the south point of Hawaii right now. And it's very lush and green and tropical. There's a lot of birds and sea life. If you saw over on Facebook yesterday, I shared with you guys some green sea turtles that come up. You can also see them in the water when you're swimming, as well as dolphin and whale. There are shark out there. And the fishermen are catching a lot of marlin and mahi and tuna, yellowfin tuna, and ahi, several species of fish. So someone mentioned something about Fukushima, that we shouldn't eat anything here, yada, yada, yada. They don't seem to be very concerned about Fukushima here. Shalom, Inga. Welcome. The fishermen are not worried about it. And along the coast here, especially in the Kau, these are fishermen, traditionally fishermen here. And they're not seeing like any like sores and like deformities and things like that. Maybe it's because the Fukushima is being drawn by current straight to California and the western shore. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't seem like it's affected this island chain very, very impactful like you would think. It's just not happening. There have been dead whales. They've talked about dead humpback whales, like 6 and 8 at different times, that washed up on shore in different places. But they came from way out at sea, and they go to Alaska and all along the northwest coast. So they had to swim through potentially toxic water, but that doesn't imply that they died because of this toxic water here. I don't think it is. It seems to be a healthy marine life right now. Is that for me? You want to say hello? Hello from Darla?
Shalom.
Darla's preparing a meal right now for us. And now we will enjoy the sunset. Wow, that's hot. You know something really funny? They grow a lot of coffee here called Kona coffee. But the locals don't drink it. They drink Starbucks. I thought that was kind of funny. They also brew their own brew. It's called Kona brew, and they don't drink that either. They drink Heineken and anything in a green bottle. They don't drink domestic beers here or the homemade brew. So I've learned that. There's a lot of feral pigs. We've seen a lot of pigs today. And a lot of cats, a lot of feral cats, mongoose, and chickens. We've seen some most beautiful roosters you will ever lay your eyes on this island. And just kind of wild. So also we've seen eggs just laying on the ground. So really you can just pick up fresh eggs from these chickens that are wild. Talk about organic. That's pretty much free range, no GMOs. So that's a plus. I don't like the pig thing though. Somebody thought it was a good idea to bring pigs. The Hawaiians love them. They love the pigs, but not so much. Where we saw them today was a very bad odor of feces and urine. Hey guys, who do we have with us? I can't see the chat for some reason. I'm on my iPad. Let me try to figure this out. I'll flip the camera around so you can see. Let's see. Out there. Sun's going down that way. You can see there is some rain up on the mountain. Up that way is Mauna Loa. See how lush and green it is? We're in the Ka'u of the Kauā in this area. Who's on camera, Darla or Jonathan? She doesn't know.
I don't know.
It's you. It is beautiful sunset. Lots of flowers and gardens here too. Just trying to focus. And coconut trees right outside the room. You should have seen Darla climbing that tree this morning. I'm just kidding. That's a long climb. They put these things around the trees, and I'm going to try to get a shot of that so you can see. See that thing, let's see, right there on the tree? That's to prevent the rats from going to the top. That's why they have feral cats. Because that was the answer to the rat problem. The first they tried to answer it with mongoose, and that really made a problem. Now all of a sudden all the chat is coming up, but it wasn't showing that a minute ago. So I can't see what's going on. It's 9:10 Pacific time, so it's midnight in Utah?
10.
10 in Utah?
1 hour difference.
10 in Utah, 11 Central, midnight East Coast. Wow.
It's not so bad.
It's not so bad. Well, I wanted to, stream earlier, but we were really busy and on the road and not really having an internet connection. I'll try to stream tomorrow's sunrise. I wanted to do it the other day, but I got up an hour too late. Here's some troopers that are up on the East Coast streaming with us. See that breeze? Yeah. Feels really good. I think this is a good place to heal and eat healthy. And it's very family oriented. They call it Ohana. And it's a big deal. It's sort of like the Mexican culture, where family is very important. They like to eat and to have, not luau's. They don't have luau's, guys. That's for like the tourists, if you didn't know that. That is like ancient Polynesian culture when they had parties like that. They do it for the tourists now. But they do like to have big family dinners and gatherings. I've seen it going down the road where they'll be sitting in a garage with a bunch of fans blowing and ukuleles and somebody's cooking. And the Ohanas are playing, they're here now. Some of the people that work here, they bring their family. You can see down there. Down to the pool. What do you mean, what's my message? Did I have to have a message to come on to stream? I guess I can read some scripture. Bring me some scriptures. How about we read something? I'll read Psalm 34. Oh, wait a minute. What was that psalm we were reading the other day?
Oh, we read Psalm 5 yesterday. Class.
In class? No, I want to read that one you read the other day to me. It is, let's see, 34.
Okay.
It's always good for a song. We got to, I don't know if did I get to tell the YouTubers about Enoch? I don't know.
No, I don't think you did.
Who was I? I was telling the Zoom class yesterday. Yeah. Okay, so I got to tell you guys a story about a guy named Enoch. Hold tight. We ran into this guy named Enoch, right? Hitchhiking.
He's 32.
Is it 32?
Yeah, because I was reading it by the days.
All right. We'll read that in just a minute. But I want to tell you about Enoch first. So, we're going down the road toward Pahoa. If you don't know what that is, pull up a map of Hawaii and look. Pahoa is like in the middle of the jungle, really. And it's very Woodstockish. Pahoa.
Or
Pahoa. Pahoa and Puna. It's all a lot of hippies down there. And
Pahoa's artsy.
very artsy. A lot of people doing crafts and stuff like island jewelry and things like that, and that's how they're living with people, the tourists coming down there, and so they're sitting on the side of the roads, and people are sell you a coconut for $2, which is completely worth it if they had to climb the tree. But they got papaya and all this kind of stuff. But there's little communities everywhere, and this guy was hitchhiking with a great big smile on his face. I mean, just smiling from ear to ear. Hitchhiking with a pair of tie-dyed pants on that came down below his knees. He had a white sock and a black sock on, and a t-shirt and a backpack. And he was a very educated guy. I would say he was in his 30s, maybe. Maybe 31, 32. His mom had died a couple of years ago, so he was in a process of mourning. He was brought up Seventh-day Adventist, but he could have been Hebrew, or even Jewish. He had that characteristics about him. But he spoke very eloquently and very educated. He had a lot of knowledge. He had a lot of geography and math knowledge, and a very scientific kind of mind. But he knew Yahweh, and he knew about the Sabbath. And we actually talked to him about Yod He Vav He and what it was in reverse, how it is Hawaii. And also broke out the Hallelujah Scriptures, which he immediately took. I mean, he was very interested in that. If this wasn't Darla's personal one, I probably would have given him the copy, but this is the only one we have with us. And so we've been using it, and I use it then to minister to him and kind of show him different things in the Scripture. And Darla kind of got a snip of that on her phone. She snuck up on us and got a snip of that. So maybe we can get that uploaded and share with you guys. So anyway, we picked him up. He takes us around, shows us around a little bit, and we got to share the name with him. We got to share the word. And he was a very, very interesting person to meet. Very kind and gentle and humble person.
Very impressed about Hawaii being Yahuwah.
Yeah, and he was very impressed that Hawaii was connected to the name. He had also kind of inkling about the Hebrew connection to Hawaii. Let me read you Psalm 32. And it says, Baruch is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Baruch is the man whom Yahuwah imputes no wickedness, and in whose spirit, there's a helicopter buzzing us, and in whose spirit there is no deceit. When I kept silent, my bones became old. Through my groaning all the day, for day and night your hand was heavy upon me, and my sap was turned into droughts of summer. Selah. I acknowledge my sin to you, and my wickedness I did not hide. And I have said, I confess my transgression to Yahuwah, and you forgave the wickedness of my sin. Selah. Therefore let every kind one pray to you while you might be found, even in a flood of great waters, that they would not reach him. You are my hiding place. You preserve me from distress. You surround me with the songs of deliverance. Selah. And let me instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. And let me counsel. My eye be upon you. Do not be like the horse or like the mule, with no understanding, bit and bridle, else they do not come near you. Many are the sorrows of the wicked, but as for the trusting in Yahuwah, kindness surrounds him. Be glad in Yahuwah and exult, you righteous, and shout for joy, all you upright in heart. Hallelujah. That's a good word. I don't know if you can hear. Maybe not with this microphone. We got helicopters that are buzzing, probably coming back from the lava flow, which is up the mountain a little ways. We're down from Mauna Loa, and hold on. Let's see. Shalom, Andy, in Indonesia. You're just right up the way. Why don't you just hop on over? Anyway, the lava is up that way.
We saw it last night.
Yeah, we could see it from Naalehu up on the bluffs. They're very, very high up, about maybe 900 foot. And in the distance, I could see an orange, reddish glow in the cloud. I almost thought it was Nibiru. I kid you not. I saw it and I said, "Darling, you see that?" She said, "Yeah, that's the volcano." But it looked, the way it was shining on the cloud, it looked like an orb, almost like a planet was there. But it was really, really eerie. But it was just the clouds that are coming off the mountain.
It's
And
very dark here.
yeah, it gets very dark. I was telling the students yesterday in Zoom that they don't use a lot of fluorescent light here. They use very muted incandescent yellow, kind of a yellowish light. And it's muted, so it's dim, and everything is, there's no, like, bugs and stuff, like moths everywhere, and, you know, there's a lot of geckos, but not a lot of flies and moths and things like that. And I learned something. Mosquitoes weren't even here until 1879. That's when they came here on a boat. And they didn't have any frogs here. This frog they have here called the coqui didn't come here until a few years ago, maybe less than 20, 50 years or so. And it was on a container ship. So, really interesting. And the other thing is, this island has no serpents. Yeah, no snakes, no poisonous snakes, no non-poisonous snakes. There might be some people that are snaky or have that characteristic, but there are no serpents on this island. That is a big plus for me. I did not want to move to Belize or somewhere that had vipers with children. But here, yeah, we did. We found a few places, and one I love very much. It is in our price range, and it is owner finance, which is something we're trying to find. We don't want to go through banking and all that kind of stuff. So it's in Naalehu, and it is on the Kau district in South Point. Here comes another helicopter buzzing by. It's right up the road, matter of fact, not very far from here. And you know, I was also telling the students about a righteous man named. He's an elder, one of the chiefs in this community, the Kawas, and his name is Abel Simeon Louis, and he has a Hebrew's name, and I'm trying to find him to get an interview with him and talk with him. He's one of those kind of where he wears no shirt, and he'll wear like a loincloth and stuff. He's homeless right now because the government moved him off his land. I think I'm live streaming now, Marlene, if I'm not kidding. Yeah. Anyway, he's just right up the road. He is an Adam Zadik. And I think Yahuwah had us come here to this spot so close to him because I found out about him before we even came. I was doing research and found a video about him where he was fighting the county for basically stealing the land he was on. And that had been, like, he had genealogy records where it went back several hundred years. And you're not supposed to mess with tribal lands. And so, like, you know, the Hawaiian or the state wants to come in and, like, take it and put up resorts and stuff, and it's like money. So that's all they're worried about. And so they have this thing called the Hawaiian Sovereignty Movement, where they don't recognize Hawaii as a state. They look at Hawaii as a kingdom, which it is. It was and is a kingdom. President Clinton even acknowledged in, I think, 1993 that Hawaii should never have been overthrown. The Queen was overthrown and taken, basically, by America, and then was supposed to be annexed as a independent kingdom, like sort of like Puerto Rico and those other countries that are annexed. But no, they overthrew the Queen and took it, and it's probably because of the resources, of course. You can grow things, and so dole and the sugar fields and things like that. Yeah, I'm on an iPad. Anyway, they swindled the natives, and there's those that believe that it's only a kingdom and not a state. I tend to sympathize with them, really. For some reason, you would ignited some passion in me about this, how these people have just been moved off their land, just taken from. And so there are some that stand up for rights, and they're called land protectors, the Aina protectors. So I'll probably end up being one of those when I get here. I just kind of see injustice here. There's a lot of Hawaiians that are homeless. I saw that the very first night. Several homeless people in Kona digging for cans at 2 o'clock in the morning and out of trash cans. And that's the reason, because they can't afford to live here, because the tourism has made everything expensive. You know, so anyway, but it's a very beautiful culture, very warm and friendly people. I can see how they do not like the Howie, those that come over here and think they own the place. I ran into one of those today who was very rude. The lady jumped in front of me and took she basically strong-armed me for a parking spot. And I was like flabbergasted. I was like, what? And she's not even American. She's like from Germany or something. It sounded like she was German. Or maybe French. It might have been French. But she didn't speak to me. She said only a couple of words. That's why I'm not sure what she was. I knew she was not American, though. She was speaking another language. It sounded like it might have been French or German. So sorry. She kept telling me, so sorry. I'm so sorry. Not like Japanese say it, but she was so sorry. And it was like with an accent, like her English was an accent. And I was like, man, you are so oblivious. It's all about you, right? This island is just all about you. So I can see where they would get frustrated with those Caucasians that come here and do things like that. Because it's like, if you get to a stoplight or a stop sign at the same time, it's just courteous to let someone else go before you, not just be in a rush to take that, that turn. It's very laid back and, thoughtful kind of people. And when someone comes over like that, I guess it rubs on you. Like, just go back wherever you came from. They say that's where people don't have any aloha. They're just kind of, they come here for the beauty and the resources and ignore the culture. They bring their own culture with them. I say you should probably take the time just to, you know, understand the people here that belong here. So as you can probably see, the wind is calming down a little bit. So is the ocean. The ocean was roaring a little earlier. Just calm down. Yeah, wind blown. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I know it's late on the mainland, and I'll try to get something streamed tomorrow. Aloha, Michael from Moab. A little earlier tomorrow, so there's you guys are not ready for bed. Maybe on the road up toward Waimea, where it's real nice and green and lush, we'll get some good footage and maybe see if we can stream from up there and share that with you. I wish I could see. I'm on an iPad, so I really can't see any chat, but yeah, all right, I see. I have to touch it and it will show me. Cool. All right, now I know. Wow. So, where's everybody at right now? Where are you guys from? Who's with me? We did find a nude beach by accident, I have to tell you. Oregon, awesome. Kansas in the house. Zach B's in Oregon. Peace, mercy, and grace is in Kansas. Welcome. Shalom, Iceland in Washington State. Kendra in Harry. Good deal. So mostly West Coast because it's so late. I get it. You can see it's still not dark here, and yet Virgo is just about over us. Let me see if I can find the moon. Let's see. I don't know if you heard me in the beginning of this broadcast. If I could find the moon, I could tell you where it was at, but I can't quite see it. Virgo is visible from here at night. In the past couple of nights, I've been watching the moon move from Leo to Virgo, and Jupiter is there. So, welcome, New Mexico. So, I keep saying if, as if you was not opening the doors. I told him if he didn't open the doors, I wasn't coming to Hawaii, and he opened up every door. So I think that this is probably going to happen. And so if it does happen, it has to happen in the next 60 days. That's what our escrow is. We have the option to buy 30 days back if we need it, but I don't think we will. We'll have enough help to get us moved out of there. But it's really interesting that all this took place right before September. So I will literally be here at the time of whatever happens in September. And I got to tell you guys, when I was praying about it, the Ruach HaKodesh said he was taking us to the front row. So I think we will have a front row seat to whatever is going to happen. And don't freak out. I'm not saying something bad is going to happen. I do think something bad is going to happen in the mainland as far as war and civil unrest, whatever. Things will get unstable there. There is a eclipse that splits the nation in half from Oregon to Florida. That's really important, guys, because here in Hawaii, you won't see an eclipse. It's only on the mainland. So Yahuwah has moved us here, and we won't be able to see that. Now, we will be able to see the Virgin, but not the eclipse. So those two things stuck out the past couple of days. So I'm praying for the nation. I don't know. There's nothing in the codes that are indicating anything soon. I've been looking at this since 2014 and the encounter with the comet and Mars, which was a clear sign, clearly indicating war. You've got Mars, the god of war, and a comet, a harbinger of doom and destruction, coming together in the constellation that it was coming in. All points to global war. All the prophecies indicate that. You go and read them. There's coming major war. So this may be the Father's doing in preparation of that. I don't know. I was perfectly happy where I was at. Let me just say, I didn't go looking to move. Actually, my heart was right where I was at. Perfectly happy in that. I called it the Valley of Peace. But when I prayed and I said, if you open the door, we'll go. He did. Darla thought we might leave the country, but I didn't feel comfortable doing that. I didn't feel led to do that. I felt torn, you know. I knew there was an imminent sense of urgent, needed to do something, but I didn't feel like it was to leave the country. So that's how, it kind of all fell into place of this being the place. Then, finding things like the name written the other way in Hawaii, so all of these things compounded on one another, and that's kind of how the decision came about. So it wasn't something that I just spur of the moment, without forethought and without a lot of consideration. Trust me, over a month I was doing research and everything I could to see if this was right. And I would say all the way up until about maybe a week ago, I was torn whether this was right or not. And I was putting an ultimatum on Yahuwah. I was like, either all this falls together or I'm not doing it. I'm staying right here. I will stay right here. Well, let me just back up and say, Elijah was very content in a place that he was under the vine and beside the brook, and the ravens coming every day to feed him. He was very content. And so to make it to where he would move, the Father made it very uncomfortable. He withered the vine, he dried up the brook, and no more dinner. So he made him move. He eventually made it difficult. And so I don't want to go that route. And I didn't mean to imply that by saying I put an ultimatum on Yahuwah. I just said I have to be convinced through confirmations and opening the doors that this is right. So he seems to be doing that. And I'm a little intimidated by that because it goes without said, Hawaii is a very expensive place. It's expensive to live here. I think it's 150% higher cost of living overall or something like that, which doesn't excite me. But I have faith that he wouldn't lead me here just to let me starve. And so I don't think that's what's going to happen. Or any of my kids. And the other thing is, if I had left the country, I think it would be more difficult for my case in court for my 3 sons that my ex took from me. So this is probably all in that figure the Father has figured out. Considered that fact. So yeah, that's another thing I thought about in this. I think it's a good place to raise a family, and it's safe. Even though there's a level of crime here, we haven't encountered it so far. Everything has been peaceful, and it seems like our appointments have been divine. So, yeah, I don't think we're supposed to live in cement boxes either. I found a beach yesterday, Black Sand Beach, that a native was living on, virtually in just a shack. and he had his automobile with him, and he had cell service and things like that. But he was living in just four walls and like a thatch roof, and he was happy. Fishing, all the fishing he wants, and all the coconuts he wants, and there's papaya growing wild, and bananas, and all kinds of different fruits. There, I thought there was just, you have avocados. No, there are like 100 different varieties of avocados on this island. There are 100 different varieties of figs on this island. There's several hundred different banana varieties and mango varieties. So I have a lot to learn about the agriculture here. However, we do qualify, by the way, for the USDA benefits, land benefits, like loans and things like that, because we have been in farming for 3 years. Well, Darla's been. I've been in it for 2 years. The kind of farming we're doing. So that'll be a big help too, because you can get subsidies and things to help you with your farming. So that's pretty positive. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today, this evening, tonight, tomorrow, yesterday, whatever it is, and wherever you are. Thanks. And to my mom, I'm sure will see this, who's been watching my videos lately. I love you. And thanks for watching my videos, Mom. She didn't normally used to do that. She had no idea what I did on YouTube until she came to my house in Utah. And she was kind of blown away. She had no idea. So, love you, Mom. And I'm doing well. And Darla's well. And we love you. Shalom, guys.